I'm showing you how easily you can make my heartwarming and healthy gluten-free chicken noodle soup. We're camouflaging a few unexpected superfoods, including yellow zucchini, white onion, and cottage cheese. They're blended smooth to defy detection, but add a creamy and rich texture and flavor. And we're cooking juicy shredded chicken all in one pan. And I'll share my favorite gluten-free brown rice egg noodles to keep it gluten-free. We're gonna start by prepping our vegetables. And I love using yellow zucchini because it has a very mild flavor and it's really easy to camouflage into dishes. So I'm gonna start by cutting off the ends. And I'm cutting the zucchini nice and thin so that it can cook through quickly. And then we're gonna chop 3 stalks of celery. I like to chop these a little bit on the thicker side because they do soften quickly and I love their beautiful shape and color. Next, we're gonna peel and chop 2 carrots. And I like to chop these nice and thin because that helps them cook through a little bit quicker. Next, I have 4 cloves of garlic that I've already peeled, and then I'm just gonna give them a rough chop. And they are going to be blended down smooth so I don't have to chop them too fine. I've saved my onion for last, and a really great hack for keeping your eyes from watering is to take a paper towel, douse it in water, and set it on your cutting board next to your onion. Then the onion vapors will be attracted to the paper towel and not the liquid in your eyes. I'm just doing a rough chop on half of an onion because it also is going to be blended down smooth. And I love the beautiful colors from all of these vegetables. To add the chicken to our chicken noodle soup, we're going to use 2 boneless, skinless chicken breasts. I like to pound them to an even thickness because it creates more surface area for our seasoning, but then also helps them cook through quicker. And I found the easiest way to pound them out is to put them each in their own plastic bag and then just use a heavy object, which in my case is a rolling pin, and then just whack them until they're an even thickness. And now that our chicken is nice and tenderized, I'll go ahead and just take it out of the bag and then place it right on top. And this also helps to keep my counter clean. To season the meat, I'm gonna start by sprinkling on some coarse sea salt, and then a dash of onion powder, a dash of garlic powder, and a dash of pepper. And then we'll tap them down, flip them over, and repeat on this side. Now that our chicken and our vegetables are all prepped, we're ready to start cooking our soup. I'll be making the soup inside of my enameled cast iron Dutch oven, but you can use any heavy bottom pot that you have. I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of butter and stir that around so it can melt over medium-high heat. And then we'll add in our zucchini and our garlic and our onions. And then I'll season with a dash of salt and then give those a good stir so that they're all evenly coated in the butter. We're gonna saute these until they're fork tender, and then we're gonna blend them together with a little bit of chicken stock and our cottage cheese so that they are entirely undetectable. To help these cook a little bit faster, I'm gonna go ahead and put on my lid, and then I'll take off the lid and stir it about every 1 to 2 minutes for about probably 5 to 7 minutes, or until the zucchini are fork tender. So after about 7 minutes, my zucchini, I can tell, are now fork tender. Now I'm going to turn down my heat. To blend these vegetables with your cottage cheese, you could use a magic bullet or an upright blender. So next we'll want to carefully remove our vegetables from our hot pan and put them right into our blender. And then we'll set this aside for a minute. And with my heat on medium-high, I'm gonna pour in about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And then we can lay in our chicken breasts. And that instant sizzle is exactly what we want to hear. Now we're gonna let these cook for about 3 to 4 minutes or until they turn a light golden brown on the bottom. While our chicken is cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and add 1 cup of cottage cheese to our blender. And you can use large curd, small curd, non-fat, low-fat, whatever your preference. And then I'm gonna pour in about a half a cup of chicken stock just to give it a little more liquid to blend with. And then I'll screw on the base and then take this over to my blender and blend it for about 30 seconds or until smooth. So after only about 15 seconds of blending, we have this super smooth puree of cottage cheese and vegetables that we'll add to our soup later. Well, it's been 3 minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and flip over our chicken. Ooh, you can see that beautiful golden crust that we have on the bottom. And color equals flavor, so these are going to be delicious. Now I'm gonna let them cook for about 3 minutes on this side. Well, it's been 3 minutes, so now we can check the bottom of our chicken. Ooh, we have a nice golden brown on the bottom. Now we're gonna pour in 4 cups of our chicken broth, or minus the half cup that we used in our cottage cheese mixture. Then for seasonings, I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of dried parsley, 1 teaspoon of thyme, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 5 bay leaves. And I purposely like to use 5 because I have 5 fingers, and then I'll remember how many bay leaves I want to take out of the soup before I serve it. We'll give this a quick stir. And then we're also going to add our chopped carrots and our celery. And now we're going to put on the lid. We're going to keep our heat on medium-high and then let this simmer for 15 minutes. And that's going to cook our chicken all the way through so that we can shred it. And it's also going to cook and soften our vegetables. My 15-minute timer is set. My timer just went off, so our soup has been cooking for 15 minutes. And oh, that smells amazing. We can tell that our carrots are fork tender. Now we want to carefully remove our chicken breasts. We'll put them onto this cutting board. I'm also going to fish out our 5 bay leaves. Now before we start shredding our chicken, we want to go ahead and pour in our secret superfood mixture. And we also want to add our noodles. Now you can use any egg noodles that you like, and my favorite is using this jovial gluten-free egg tagliatelle because it is organic brown rice pasta. And they come in these really cute swirls of noodles. So I'm just going to dump those right in. This is a 9-ounce box, but I'm going to go ahead and just use about 6 ounces of it. Now I'll give all this a nice stir. And then to shred the chicken, all you need are 2 forks. And I'm just going to go in and just pull the chicken apart. Oh, that looks so beautiful. It's got some nice color on the outside, but then it's white and juicy on the inside. Now that the chicken is all shredded, I like to go in with my knife and cut it down just a little bit smaller. I find that this makes it a little bit more bite-sized in the soup. This pasta needs to boil for about 10 minutes, and it's been about 3 or 4 minutes while I've been shredding the chicken. So now I'm going to carefully add my chicken back into the soup, give it a good stir, making sure to scrape the bottom. Now I'm going to put the lid back on, and then I'm going to let this cook for another 10 minutes, which will help those flavors really meld together and help the chicken really soak up that juice. And I'll be sure that my noodles are nice and soft. My timer just went off, so our soup is done. Oh my goodness, that looks so good. Go ahead and turn off the heat. That just looks creamy and delicious, and there is no hint of any yellow zucchini or cottage cheese. And I love the beautiful colors coming in with the green celery and those orange carrots. Blow on it so it's not too hot. That is delicious. As soon as I bite in, I get that really rich and creamy sauce, and then I get that really juicy chicken, and then the vegetables are perfectly al dente and not mushy. And those noodles are just really subtle and have a really delicious texture to them. And I would never guess that there is zucchini or cottage cheese in the soup. And blending down the onions makes it as gentle as possible on digestion. This is one of my family's favorite recipes, and I love that we're eating clean, natural ingredients that are gonna leave us feeling just as good even after we eat it. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me today in my kitchen, and I've included a link to the full recipe, and it's in the video description below, and it's on my website, gentletummy.com. And I also invite you to like and subscribe to my channel. And if you know someone else who you think would love to have a heartwarming chicken noodle soup, please share this video with them. And I cannot wait to have you hang out with me again in my kitchen.